there's a couple different things that are going on within these quadrats. So I'm first going to start with discussing our substrate measurement. What that basically means is it's anything that is exactly like on the ground surface. So for example, we're thinking of litter and duff, moss or lichen that's growing out of the ground, rocks, bare soil / gravel, because we lump those together because a lot of the times the soil here is very granitic, and the difference between gravel and a rock is ½ inch. So if it's less than ½ inch, then it's soil gravel. If it's more than ½ inch, then it's counted as a rock. So the way that we're going to do these ground cover or substrate estimates within the Quadrat is we are going to look to the nearest percent. We have on the side of our Quadrat these lovely markings. The Quadrat is a meter square. Each of the markings are 10 centimeters across. So that means that if I take this little square and make a weird claw-like fist, depending on your hand size, it might be like this, but for me, my hands are small, so I do this. And that is roughly 8% of the Quadrat. So that technique is helpful when there is a relatively rare or just a couple percents of something. For example, in this Quadrat, we have our soil gravel, which is mostly this in here. You can see here that there's a lot of litter interspersed. Whenever there's like a single pine needle, we count this area as litter, and then everything around that would be soil gravel. So for this one, it's just kind of this area here. I would say 1%. So here in this Quadrat, we've already decided that 1% is soil and gravel, and we need this to, every measurement we have needs to add up to 100%. And so we've already gone through our list. We've decided there is only soil gravel and litter duff in this particular Quadrat. So that means that we have our final answer for this Quadrat is 1% soil and gravel, and then 99% litter and duff.
One way to record substrate is using the line point intercept method. So to do this, you'll need your transects that you've laid out and also a straight pin flag. You want to make sure this pin flag is as straight as possible since we're going to be dropping it on the transect. So the way we do this with the CFRI mothership protocol is on every single transect, we have a set number of points that we will record our substrates on. So this is 25 points along each transect. We start at a certain foot and end at a certain foot depending on what transect you're on. And at each of these points, you will be recording a substrate. So you should have, if you're doing this protocol, on one transect, there will be 25 substrate hits. So our substrate classifications include litter duff, bare soil / gravel, rock, 1,000 hour fuels, moss lichen, woody basil, and herbaceous vegetation basil. So the first point I'm gonna start on for this transect is 46 feet. So I drop this pin flag. What this pin flag is touching is litter duff. So I look at Maggie and I tell her to record litter duff at 46 feet. Next I do 47 feet. So I drop my pin flag. At 47 feet, I'm touching soil gravel classification. So I'll tell Maggie at 47, I have soil gravel. And then 48 feet, I'm touching litter duff. At 49 feet, I'm touching litter duff. So I will continue on this transect. So I started at 46 feet and I will continue all the way to 70 feet, and that will total 25 points on this transect.